How strong is Weevil? Edward Weeble. Now, a lot of people used to call him Edward Weeble because there was a mistranslation, but his name is Edward Weeble, the self-proclaimed son of Whitebeard. Let me repeat this so everybody hears this. The self-proclaimed son of Whitebeard. This is what he thinks he is, the son of Edward Newgate, and he's hated by some, he's loved by some, and some are just neutral when it comes to the character of Edward Weeble. To me personally, I actually love Edward Weeble as a character. He seems hilarious, he seems very powerful, and I gotta respect that. And now a lot of people don't believe he's actually the son of Whitebeard. Now, him being the son of Whitebeard, yeah, there's a slim chance, and I'll tell you guys right now, I do not think he is the son of Whitebeard. But what I do believe, in which people are trying to say, okay, he's not even that strong, he's probably weak. No. I think Edward Weeble is not the son of Whitebeard, but I think he's very powerful, and I think he is definitely not weak. So I gotta do a video on how strong he really is, because a lot of people be playing around with Edward Weeble's name, yo. They be playing around with Edward Weeble's name, yo. Put some respect on his name. Now, something I got into a lot of arguments with people in the comment section back in the day was the whole situation of Zephyr Z's arm. If you guys don't know, Zephyr is from film Z. He's the former admiral. He is a canon character, but the movie is not canon. But we got some canon information in the actual movie. So what is, first of all, you guys are wondering, what does canon mean? Canon means it actually is a part of the main storyline, because the manga is the main storyline, the actual what the creator wanted the whole story to be. That's the canon story. Now, non-canon means it is not a part of the main storyline. Now, Z, he lost his arm to a warlord. This was stated. Now, we gotta give the facts right how it is. He lost his arm to a warlord, and the warlord is a new warlord, because they said that the warlord was invited during the time skip. So that just puts a lot of people like, okay, whoa. Yeah, let me give you guys a pause, like a good 5 seconds to think about this right now. I'm gonna be a little quiet. I can't even wait 5 seconds. Let me keep it real with you guys. The fact that it's a new warlord, that leaves 3 characters: Buggy, Law, and Weevil. Now, I don't think it's Buggy, because Buggy could not take a former admiral's arm at that time 9 years ago. So I do not think it was Buggy. He's too weak. And then there's Law, and Law's Duffwood actually is pretty cool when it comes to taking the body parts. It's actually one of the more well-fit ones to do it. But the thing is, Law was, and 9 years ago, Law was 17 years old, and I don't think he can actually take an arm of an admiral like Zephyr. So who do I think took Zephyr's arm? A lot of people don't like to agree with me, but I think Edward Weeble actually took Zephyr's arm. Edward Weeble's age is around probably 30 to 40. We're not too sure. He seems like the same age as Shanks, maybe around there, Blackbeard. And he's definitely been hyped up to be very strong. And he was promoted to a warlord during the time skip. So all the evidence points to Weevil being the guy who took Zephyr's arm. And it just seems like more ways to hype up this character, because a lot of people are disrespecting Weeble's strength. And I think a lot of people are going to get their heads, their ankles broken, yo, their necks broken, yo. It's gonna be crazy, yo. Oda's about to pull off some crazy stuff with this character known as Edward Weeble. Now, something that I don't know if you can hype him up for this, honestly, but I feel like it's pretty cool, is he took out 16 captains under Whitebeard's fleets. Pretty much, these captains are like allied with Whitebeard. They are New World level captains, and he took out 16 already, and he's on a mission right now. He's hunting down Whitebeard, anyone who's affiliated with Whitebeard, and he right now, I gotta say, he has 600 civilian casualties while taking out these 16 captains. And if we see the actual episode or chapter of where Edward Weeble is introduced, you see an actual ship on the actual island. So it kind of seems like he threw a ship. Do you know how heavy a ship is? It seems like he threw a ship through the island. And I gotta say, yo, that's a lot of hype. I don't care what anybody says, yo. Edward Weeble, the things that we're learning about him and seeing about him and observing is scary, yo. He's one of those characters I think that when you see his true power, you get shook. Now, when it comes to Edward Weeble, the biggest statement that was said by the Admiral Kizaru Borsellino was that he said that Edward Weeble's strength is reminiscent to the mere strength of Whitebeard in his youth. And now, honestly, a lot of people have taken this 2 ways. And me personally, I've said it right now. It seems like Kizaru was not trolling. People saying Kizaru was trolling because of the way he was talking Marineford. In this actual situation, it seemed like he was just keeping it real. And it's crazy because he just said it like, yo, Kizaru just said it, yo. He has the strength reminiscent to the power of Whitebeard in his youth. Now, what does Whitebeard in his youth power reminiscent to it mean? Well, Whitebeard in his youth seems like he's more in his young days, not really in his prime yet, because this is how it goes. You have your young days, you have your prime, and then you have your old days. And Whitebeard, his old days was Marine 4. Now, do I think he's talking about Whitebeard in his prime? Because that could be called his youth too. No, I don't think he's talking about prime. I think he's talking about actual young days, like in his teenager days. But actually, what I think it might be Whitebeard in his prime, because if you think about it, Kizaru would not know how strong Whitebeard was in his teenage days. So that's why I changed my point of view and think that he's actually talking about a prime Whitebeard, and that Edward Weevil's power is reminiscent to that. Because you know, Kizaru back in the day when Whitebeard was in his prime, Kizaru was a vice admiral. So we definitely know that if he's talking about this, yeah, Weevil definitely, you gotta give him some respect, yo. Put some respect on his name. Now, something that I'm not gonna talk about for too long, maybe a little bit. I'm gonna talk about it is his bounty. His bounty was 480 million berries. Now, a lot of people don't think that's very impressive. We know Luffy and Law's bounty is 500 million. Eustace Kid, I believe, was 470. Jack was 1 billion. It just, you're seeing characters with crazy bounty figures, and then you see characters like Weevil has 480. But the reason why I'm actually pretty impressed with Weevil's bounty is because I honestly think that his bounty might have been his first issued bounty. We saw Luffy's first issued bounty was around, like, I think 30 million. And I think Zoro was around like 60 million, his first issued bounty. But if this is his first ever bounty, which is 480 million, near the level of where Luffy's is, I think that's very cool. Now, I don't think bounty actually equals to strength. I think you can take some evidence to it and maybe use it in your when you're talking about power. But there's instances where people have high bounties and they're not really that powerful. Usopp, an example, 200 million. But I do want to say this: 480 million. He is a warlord. When you are a warlord, your bounty is frozen. Anybody, go search up Kuma's bounty. Go search up Doflamingo's bounty. Go search up Jinbei's bounty. Back in the day, they froze their bounties. Even Boa Hancock and Crocodile are like 80 million, I believe. I believe their bounties is around 80 million, which we know Boa Hancock should be around the level of Luffy bounty, and Crocodile should be way higher too. So definitely bounties are frozen when you become a warlord. So his bounty definitely, I feel like it deserves more, but I just gotta say that in this video. Now, something that is very spooky, and that's what I'm telling you right now, it's very spooky, is he's searching for Marco. Marco is the right-hand man to Whitebeard, and he's confident. Weevil is very confident that he's gonna go and take out Marco. He's gonna go fight Marco, and that just shows me a little bit of, okay, yeah, Weevil is definitely confident in his power and his strength. Marco is the right-hand man to Whitebeard. I did a how strong is Marco video, and honestly, I think Marco might be around the level of admirals, yo. What he was strong in Marine 4 is very impressive. What the Gorsei said about Marco, he definitely seems very impressive. Now, I'm not saying he could beat admirals, but I feel like he's on the level of the admirals. Admiral level to Marco wouldn't sound crazy to me. So if he's confident to go fight Marco, take down Marco, oh my goodness, yo. I'm just saying, yo, Weevil, he's very confident. I didn't say he could take out Marco. I did not say he could take out Marco. I don't want people running around saying I said that. But he is confident enough to take out Marco. So that just shows a lot of evidence that Weevil is a very spooky figure. And what he said about Blackbeard, now we know Blackbeard definitely has to be stronger than Weevil. Like, Blackbeard's one of the 4 strongest pirates in the One Piece world, yo. He's one of the Yonko. But what he said about Blackbeard was also very chilling. He said he's gonna wish that he was never born when talking about Blackbeard. That's how much anger he has for Blackbeard. What Blackbeard did to Whitebeard, we saw how disgusting it was. Blackbeard's my second favorite character, and I still am angry about what Blackbeard did in Marineford. All his whole crew putting those gun wounds into Whitebeard. Man, I'm not gonna lie, I choked up a little bit, yo. That was not right, Blackbeard. Marshall DT, yo, that was not right. Z ha 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 ha. But he is a villainous character, and honestly, Weevil, he seems like an innocent character. He does crazy things, but he kind of seems innocent. So I wouldn't be surprised if in the future Blackbeard and Weevil do go at it, and we might actually see Weevil's full capabilities. But right now, I gotta say right now, you gotta get some respect for Weevil, yo. He's angry and he wants to go for Blackbeard, yo. Yo, give that man some respect. Now, when Weevil's mother, Miss Balkins, was talking about Luffy, she's like Garp's grandson. Now, what does that make me think? Does Miss Balkins and Weevil have some sort of relationship with Garp? Did they actually fight Garp back in the day? That would be kind of cool, because I know Miss Balkins doesn't seem like a fighter type. So So I believe that every single time there was a battle, Weevil was the one who was fighting, and Backins was the one who was watching. So if Weevil was fighting Garp back in the day, you gotta get some respect, because Big Mom said the same thing about Luffy too, Garp's grandson. So they still don't want to give some respect to Luffy. They say he's Garp's grandson. That's how hype Garp was back in the day. So I definitely feel like if Weevil went and fought Garp back in the day, that would be kind of cool, but that's just speculation. I definitely see a Luffy versus Weevil battle, maybe a clash of some sort, but it's kind of funny because I think Luffy and Weevil actually would get along. That's just my opinion. Well, I do not know. Like I said, just speculation. Now, this is a manga spoiler, so if you're not caught up to the actual One Piece manga, mute the video. I will even put a spoiler warning, and when the spoiler warning is gone, you can unmute the video. But Big Mom talked about a political marriage in which Lola would help Big Mom become the Pirate King, surpassing even Shanks, Kaido, and even Whitebeard. So the way that Big Mom was talking was that this is back in the day when Shanks was just a new Yonko, Kaido just a new Yonko, and Whitebeard was near his prime, halfway through his prime to old age. And that just makes me think Weevil, it was this Weevil she was talking about, because think about it, Lola had the same hat as Miss Bockings, and she also had the same ponytails as Weevil. So this might be a crazy theory I have, but Weevil might have been that one thing that could have helped her become the Pirate King. Does his power ability of some sort is so crazy strong that would help her surpass these other Yonkos that she's pretty much relatively equal, around the same level as with? So it just made me think, maybe Weevil was that important political marriage, maybe he wasn't, maybe it was someone else. Just really a speculation, a theory, a prediction of mine. I think there's a lot of evidence, but who knows. Now I also want to talk about another speculation, even though this is a How Strong video. I usually don't talk about this. That's how crazy Weevil is. I usually don't talk about speculations in How Strong videos, but Weevil is such a character, I gotta bring up some because we don't have a lot of information. So I'm gonna bring up another speculation. I kind of see Buggy, yes, Buggy and Weevil teaming up, and the way I see it is, look at Miss Dragon Ball Z and the reference here, Bobbity and Boo, Miss Bockings and Weevil, Buggy, Hercules. Yeah, that's how I see it, and we know Hercules and Boo actually teamed up later on, so Buggy and Weevil might team up, and Weevil might be the reason why Buggy becomes a Yonko. Now, that's just a theory, a prediction of mine, nothing too much, but if that does happen, that would give some respect to Weevil, more of his power, the fact that he's the reason why Buggy does become a Yonko. But like I said, just a theory, a speculation, a prediction I made a while back. I'm just thinking about it like, yo, that would be kind of cool if Buggy and Weevil teamed up and they rose to the Yonko spot. That would be cool. That would be cool. That would be cool. Now you're probably thinking, how strong do I think Weevil is? I have to go intro on that one. How strong is Weevil? And honestly, if you guys want my honest answer when it comes to Weevil, what we've been seeing with the information we have received about Weevil, I would assume that he's around top Yonko Commander level. When it's top Yonko Commander level, Jozu. Yeah, Joe's around that Jozu level, and even maybe right hand man, where it comes to maybe on the same level as Marco himself, and right hand man to Yonko level. So, and we know when I made a video, I recently said that right hand man to Yonkos are pretty much on the level of admirals. So from what I'm saying right now, yo, he might be on the level of a freaking admiral, and if he's on the level of a freaking admiral, just give that man some hype, yo. He is definitely devastating, and I gotta respect Weevil and his strength, yo. That's just crazy. Now, do I think there's something more to Weevil? Yes. I think he might be Admiral level, yo, but he might have an ability of some sort of crazy fruit power that leads him, or has a crazy attack that can make his power rise. We have seen this many times in the One Piece world where people have trump cards. I think Weevil might have a trump card that might rise him to the level of the Yonko. Now, that would be too crazy. That would be some crazy stuff, and like I said, that's just a speculation and a prediction. But if he does have that kind of power, Weevil definitely has me shook. Now, I do think the top Yonko Commander is the most safest thing you can say. Me personally, if I wanted to go out on a whim, I would say right hand man, Admiral level around there. But Weevil, we still need to see more of him, and you can't just assume, because as we've seen recently, Oda, he breaks ankles, yo. He changes up so much stuff from what we think. I remember we all used to think Bobbins was so crazy powerful. I don't want to spoil manga people, so I won't say too much, but yeah, there's been crazy stuff that have happened recently that made me think. I don't want to say too much stuff because I might go and become wrong, but like I said, yo, a lot of times I am wrong, so I wouldn't even mind. But yeah, tell me your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about Weevil's strength and power? I'm gonna give you guys 3 seconds to comment down right now. 1, 3. Let me go. Let me just joke. I'm just trolling, to be honest. But yeah, like and share if you enjoyed. Like and share all if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more One Piece content. I'm the Legend Mac, and I'm gone.